to Japan to attend the TICAD-7 summit. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets the U.S. President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the G7 summit. Saudi Arabia and the UAE renew call for South Yemen peace talks. Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi headed to Japan after concluding a visit to France, during which he participated in the G7 summit. President al-Sisi will take part in the 7th Tokyo's International Conference for African Development, TICAD-7, which will be held from the 28th to the 30th of August. Several heads and leaders of African countries are participating in the conference, fostering cooperation and strategic partnership between Japan and the Black Continent. The TICAD-7 aims at boosting investment and trade ties between Japan and African countries. The conference will discuss several files, including health, education, climate change, and women empowerment, as well as Africa's security and development. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave a speech on Monday before the G7 summit during a session over climate change, biological diversity, and oceans. President al-Sisi said the environmental issues and their challenges occupy a large part of the daily life as their repercussions spread to various fields. The president said highlighting the issue on the political level is an ethical commitment towards the earth and is part of sustainable development. He reiterated climate change is one of the most sensitive issues due to its direct impact on all parties, which needs commitment to policies to counter it. The head of state asserted Africa remains the most affected by the global warming, despite having the least share of gas emissions responsible for the phenomenon. He also stressed on the importance to provide sustainable finances for developing countries to counter climate change. Egypt has joined the MITS Charter in belief of the need to preserve biodiversity as a core element to achieve sustainable development. On the sidelines of the G7 summit in France, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with U.S. President Donald Trump and held talks that were followed by a joint press conference. During the press conference, Trump said Egypt has made great achievements under the leadership of President al-Sisi. He stressed the president's key role in the Middle East region, and he reiterated that he is considered an important figure for the United States. Meanwhile, Trump asserted that the Palestinians and Israelis want to reach a deal to end strife. Touching on the Iranian file, Trump said Iran must not possess any nuclear weapons. He also said an important deal was signed with Japan and expressed hope for a deal with China. Also on Monday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with the UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the sidelines of the G7 summit. During the meeting, the two sides expressed hope the coming phase will witness effective steps to develop bilateral ties. They also discussed activating cooperation mechanisms in various fields, especially the economy, politics, security, and tourism sectors. Also on Monday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with French counterpart Emmanuel Macron on the sidelines of the G7 summit. The talks tackled bilateral ties and issues of mutual concern. The meeting also discussed Middle East crises. The presidents of France and Chile said Monday that the G7 has agreed to spend $20 million on the Amazon, mainly to send firefighting aircraft to tackle huge blazes engulfing parts of the world's biggest rainforest. France's Emmanuel Macron and Chile's Sebastián Pinera said at the summit in southwest France that G7 club comprising Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United States also agreed to support a medium-term reforestation plan, which will be unveiled at the UN in September. Brazil would have to agree to any reforestation plan, as would indigenous communities living in the Amazon. The initiative was announced after G7 leaders meeting in the resort of Biarritz held talks on the environment, focusing on the record number of fires destroying chunks of the Amazon. Israeli warplanes hit the Gaza Strip's Hamas movement